Major transportation improvements are underway in Golden. Thanks to your help and input, we hope the changes work for both commuters and residents. So how did we get here? Well, it's been a long road. No pun intended. Since the 1980s, the metro region has coveted the idea of a complete beltway around the metro area. There has always been a misconception that by putting a beltway through Golden, it would, quote, complete the loop.
It's a toll road that's only been a dream for decades. Tonight, leaders from several cities faced off over whether a missing link on the edge of the metro area should finally get built.
By the 1990s, the region pushed for a 6-lane, 70-mile-per-hour freeway through Golden. Our city became very concerned about the negative impact to our community, and we pushed back against this idea. We've already seen what happens when a large freeway splits a community. When I-70 was built, the West 3rd Golden Hills communities near the Jefferson County Fairgrounds became completely detached from the rest of Golden. We don't want that to happen again. So Golden commissioned its own study, and by 2003, we had the Golden Plan. The two major concerns about expanding US 6 through town is twofold: noise impacts and the barrier it could create between Golden and the neighborhoods west of US 6. Since then, many of the noise issues have been mitigated. But it's clear by the car and foot traffic at the intersection of US 6 and 19th Street that something needs to be done to improve safety, but avoid another barrier. In July of 2013, Mayor Marjorie Sloan successfully negotiated with CDOT and the region to agree that a major highway is not the answer, and instead, the focus will be on improvements that take neighborhood impacts into account. Construction crews will now lower US 6 so that it goes underneath 19th Street. And instead of just putting a bridge over the road, which could potentially create that division of Golden from the western communities, the plan is to create a beautiful space with parks and bike paths so that you never even know you're walking, biking, or driving over a freeway. A successful example of that is Mercer Island in Seattle. Although larger in scope, this picture shows the lid that goes over a 10-lane freeway, and you'd never know you were on top of it. Even the noise levels are minimal. So now, the final design is done, and the 18-month-long project is underway.
Safety. I'm going to talk a little bit about it, and I'm sure Mike will probably talk a little bit about it. One of the things that's important as we go through this project is safety, and there's a lot of equipment, a lot of things, a lot of stuff going on. So please, if areas are closed, pay attention to that. And one of the closures that will happen Monday morning, the 8th of February, is the trail along 6th Avenue. There will be barricades up. It will be closed. Please, please do not go around those barricades. You won't be able to get through, and it is not safe. So please abide those closures. Finally, this is kind of an exciting evening. Exciting because we are going to make your life semi-miserable for a year and a half. Exciting because we are finally beginning what we have spent an awful lot of time, a year and a half, and as we go through this, you'll see a lot of different public meetings to get to where we are today. Design is done. Design has been approved. It's gone through federal highways. It's gone through CDOT. We are ready to begin construction, which is what tonight is all about. We want to talk to you about the construction phasing, about milestones, about what's going to be closed, what's going to be open. So hopefully you will have as much information as possible as we move forward. So, information. Linking Lookout is the one site we are committed to keeping as up to date, as up to the minute as we possibly can. So if you're looking for information, that should be your first go-to place, linkinglookout.com. The phone number you see below that is a 24-hour hotline where there will be messages about things not necessarily as real time as some methods, but there will be messages about milestones, things coming up that you can get. It also will take a message that we will respond. If you leave a message there, we will respond within 24 hours. So 2 important areas. Now, in the construction area, there will be signs that have these both linking lookout and the phone number on it. So here is our current beautiful 19th and 6th Avenue, and a herd of mine students, kind of like a herd of elk, and the occasional bike rider. And you all know that for years and years and years, this has been an area where we back up a lot of traffic, where we have accidents, where there's a lot of pedestrians, there's a lot of bike riders, and has been the highest priority for the city of Golden within this corridor. How we've gotten to the place we are today with design is, first of all, even before May of 14, we've had lots of public meetings about the 6 and 93 corridor. And as part of that, we have designed and come up with what we call the Golden Plan for the corridor, and has a list of tenets about noise, about connectivity, about removing barriers in the community. And we, in 2013, signed a memorandum of understanding with CDOT, agreeing that we would, within the corridor, work to achieve that vision. So in May of 14, we received a $20 million grant from the Colorado Department of Transportation. That grant required a 20% match, so the City of Golden has put in $4 million, and our other partner, the Colorado School of Mines, put in another $1 million. And some of our engineers with Kramer Construction are Mines graduates, and I am told we'll sing the Mines fight song for you later. You trust me, you don't want me to sing it. We've had, in the last year and a half, a little over a year and a half, we've had 4 different public input meetings. So we have gotten a lot of information, a lot of feedback, and to the greatest extent possible, we have tried to design a project, an interchange, that satisfies the majority of the needs. We are not here to talk about design tonight. We're done with that. The designs have been vetted, have been approved by Federal Highways, approved by Colorado Department of Transportation. We are here for construction tonight. So, final design in December of 15, and at Council's January 7th meeting, we very happily approved a construction contract with Kramer North America to build the 6 and 19 interchange. Good news. The last time we met with the community as an update and we showed you what we plan to build, we are going to build. Our budget held, we have enough money to build what we showed you then, and we're actually thrilled about that. We even have enough contingency that we can deal with the occasional catastrophe. Okay, a quick look at what we are, what the project looks like. So 6th Avenue goes down, it goes down about 25 feet. And we actually build a bridge over the top, but we also build a covered section, almost 300 feet wide. And that covered section is primarily there to allow people, bike riders, citizens, students to go back and forth over 6th Avenue now and into the future without necessarily perceiving you're taking a trip over a nasty big old highway. It's been a very big goal to connect the community, to not let the road become a barrier within the community. So if you look at it from above, there is about 1/3 of the area that's given to the highway. And about 2/3 of what we're building is given to the community to try to connect, to try to keep the community built together. There will be trails coming across. There will be a small park-like area, And I know during a lot of the public input meetings, people said, well, gee, why are you building a park on a highway? One of the things that we have done as part of this project is we have done a lot of sound monitoring and modeling, and you will be able to go through there and you will hear the din of the highway, but it shouldn't be like taking a ped bridge across a big busy road. So now we want to talk about the team that's going to build this. So our construction team is made up of the City of Golden, our partners at the Colorado Department of Transportation, Kramer North America, our CMGC contractor, and Yeh and Associates, who are new to our team just a week ago at City Council. They have been brought on to do the construction management, construction engineering. So with the city team, you get me. So if you want to be mad at somebody, I'm your first best person. Ann Byerly, who will speak to you a little bit later, our deputy director, and a huge part of getting this project to where it is on time. And Carlin Tilley. Carlin is our public information officer, and she is the official public information officer for the project, so she will be a big part of our team. CDOT. Our CDOT, Steve Sherman is a project engineer with CDOT. Steve had to go because he had a kids function, which we told him was more important than sitting here waving at you. Neil Ogden, who's our project engineer and has been our engineer through most of the design. But I also want to introduce, Kevin Brown is here. Kevin is the region resident engineer for CDOT for Region 1, and Kevin has been a big help to us all the way through. So now we're going to go on to the Kramer team.
Well, thank you, Dan. Again, my name is Mike McNish. I'm a project manager with Kramer North America, and I want to say it's an honor to be in front of you guys tonight. And we are very excited about this project and being a member of the construction team. We've been working with Dan and Ann and the designers since May of 2014 to help improve constructability and get this project completed within budget. And just as a Colorado School of Mines graduate, and I lived in Golden for several years, I know how important this interchange is to the community. And we take that with great respect, and our goal is to build a very quality project that we all can be proud of and make it a pillar for the community. So next, I just want to introduce the rest of my team that you'll be seeing throughout the construction. Nathan Corbin is our construction manager, also a fellow Colorado School of Mines graduate. Sarah Opperly, our project engineer. Cade McGregor, our field engineer, and our region as a whole is supported by Tim Maloney, our vice president here. So a little bit about Kramer is we're a 105-year-old company based out of Castle Rock, Colorado. We've been working here in the state since 1983, and our specialty is major highway, bridges, and any type of transit-related construction projects. Just to give you a few examples of the major projects we've completed here recently, the I-70 Twin Tunnels widening up in Idaho Springs. That was a great success for CDOT and for us. We were the lead on that project. Nathan Corbin just finished up the completion of the US 6 design build right downtown at I-25 and 6th Avenue, completely redoing that interchange. So you can all thank Nate later. Another great accomplishment that we're very proud of is a significant partner on the RTD West Corridor line that brought the light rail all the way out here to Golden. And going back in history to 2003, we were the prime contractor that actually constructed the Washington Avenue Bridge right downtown. So we're excited to come back here and work for the city again. Just to show you a couple pictures of some of the work that we've completed. So here on the left is a picture of the twin tunnel widening project where we're pouring some of the the liner of the tunnel. This, if you guys probably all recognize that bridge, is a major accomplishment for us. We did a lot of planning to construct that portion of the bridge offline, outside of traffic, then close 6th Avenue for a long weekend while we slid that in place. And then, of course, everybody should know Washington Avenue as well. Next, I'll introduce Brian Gilbert from Yeh Associates from the construction management team.
And I also want to welcome everybody, and I have to say I'm very impressed how the public here in the city of Golden has taken an interest in these projects. Once again, I am impressed. So I'm Brian Gilbert. I'll be the project engineer. I'm with Yeh Associates, and just recently with CDOT's blessing, City of Golden contacted and then contracted us to go ahead and be the construction management out there on the project. So in our firm's been around since 1999, and we are consultant engineering and scientists, and that's who we have at our firm, and this is what we do. So we come in and represent the owner out on the project, physically out on the project every day, and work with the contractor, but make sure the project is built in conformance with the plans and the specifications. And if any of you are aware, on some of these federally funded projects, there's a lot of specifications that need to be conformed with, and then also the plans, and we'll interpret the plans. We were not part of the design process, but we just came in, so we're a fresh set of eyes that'll be out there in the field. So my team is going to be consisted of myself and then Stephen Perez. He's with another consulting firm, TSH. And then Julie Vanderpool, who's not able to be here tonight because I've overwhelmed her with a lot of work on another project, getting prepared to leave that project, doing another whole set of materials documentation, finaling that out to get another CDOT project behind us. And she's right now handing off the project she's currently on to another materials tester as well. So that's who we have on our team. Next slide, please, Dan. Thank you. So I also had worked with Kramer North America up at the Twin Tunnels. I was on all the phases of that. Very good company to work with. They do quality construction, so my job will be a whole lot easier. $50 million, well, actually $100 million worth of work up there we just completed, so very unique project. I seem to get a lot of those. I enjoy that. And this project here, that you folks are going to get as well, seems to be a very unique project. Really cool project for all of us to be on. So, I also was on the West Corridor project. I was part of the quality assurance team out there. We had 15 inspectors out there, also inspecting a lot of the work that Kramer did, and there was other firms out there as well. I think that project was $350 million worth of civil construction, another $300 worth of light rail, overhead catenary system, all that electrical, and then the trains as well. So spent 2.5 years out there and worked with a lot of these folks. I did work with Tim out there as well on that project. So a lot of quality work out there, and I think that project was another success along with the Twin Tunnels. Also going far back in the past, I was a project engineer up on Berthoud Pass back in the late 90s, early 2000s, where we built 7 miles of widening up there, and as you go over Berthoud Pass, all those walls and mechanically stabilized earth walls and soil nails walls we built up there, and then widened that road from 25 feet wide to about 65 feet wide. So difficult job, difficult terrain, but another successful project that we were involved with. So Stephen has some past also. He was on the I-70 peak period shoulder lane project and I-225 Parker to Mississippi reconstruction and North Meadows project. Steve will very good at documentation. There's a lot of documentation that has to be done on these jobs to satisfy CDOT's requirements and federal highways requirements, and that's why we brought Steve in. He's very, very good at that, so appreciate that. Then Julie Vanderpool, who will be doing our inspections and materials documentation. There's a lot of materials documentation that has to go on, and also she'll be doing materials testing and leading a team of materials testers. So out on these projects, my team will be doing inspections, make sure we're in compliance with the plans, and material testing, because any materials go into that project. I think there's 1,658 some yards just on the bridge, on the Class D bridge concrete on the bridge alone. So along with all the other ancillary items that are going to happen on that project. So all the materials get tested to make sure they're in conformance and compliance with the plans and any other specifications out there. Next slide, Dan. So once again, here's a bridge that Kramer had constructed. You all see that when you drive on 6th Avenue underneath that one frequently. Twin Tunnels project, once again, is up there. It's a different team, but the same continuity was there because Tim Maloney's in charge of most of his people in this region. And then this project does have a roundabout, so if this picture up here on the right is up in Georgetown, Colorado. We put a roundabout in there. There was no detours or any way to get around that one. All the traffic had to just get in there and go through that one, so we built it with traffic, under traffic. We built that thing and raised that elevation 5 feet. Fortunately, we don't have to do that here. So hopefully it'll go just as smooth and maybe a little bit easier. Okay, I don't know if I have another slide, Dan, or not, so nope, there we go.
Thanks. One other thing I wanted to point out that on our construction team, we're also joined by some really great subcontractors as well that you'll see out there. Golden Zone Kelly Trucking will be doing a lot of the excavation work. HTM Construction is doing all of our soil nail wall installation. Martin Marietta, you'll see a lot of companies come together to make this possible. So thank them all in advance. Next, we want to just kind of get into the details of construction and see the phasing and traffic routes and how we're going to physically build everything. And I want to just start off first by saying our number one priority during construction is safety, and that's the safety of the public, the pedestrians, the bicycles, the motorists, and the safety of our workers. So we take that very seriously. We ask that anybody traveling in the corridor to pay attention to the construction signs in the area. If you're walking the trails and walking the sidewalks, everything will be well delineated with signs. We ask that you stay on the path, don't go around any fences. It's just we keep everybody safe and working and moving forward. So construction is scheduled to start on February 8th. We will all celebrate a Broncos Super Bowl victory with starting construction the next day. And some of the very first things that you'll see going on is the trail that parallels US 6 will be closed on February 8th, and that's just to make way for construction activities. You'll see a lot of trees getting removed within the corridor, and that's to make way for the new ramps and the new bridge going in. We'll have a lot of utilities getting relocated, new water lines, sanitary lines, fiber optic. There'll be a lot of underground work going on first that won't necessarily be visible to the traveling public, but there will be a lot of things going on. So let's talk about the schedule a little bit and the phasing. So the phasing is really broken up into 4 main phases of construction. With phase 1, is kind of hard to see here, but we're going to go through all these slides quickly, and if you want to look after the fact, they're up on the walls here as well that you can take a look at in a little more detail. Phase 1, shown in red, is where we'll actually build all the new ramps for the interchange, and that will take us from February till June, roughly, of this year. And what that looks like here, so if this is our interchange, north is up the page, so Boulder's up this way, Denver's to the south, and School of Mines campus is here. The blue area represents traffic alignment of where traffic's going to be moving, and the red is the construction area. So you'll see that in phase 1, traffic is going to stay pretty much exactly how it is right now. The signalized intersection here at 6th and 19th will be operational as it is. There's still maintained pedestrian crossings and will fully function just like it is today. What you'll see construction-wise is in the areas in red, we will be building the new ramps associated with that. So we'll be all outside of traffic. and just in the 4 quadrants of the intersection. So with that, there's a massive soil nail retaining wall that's going in on the northwest side, as well as over here. And there's a box culvert for a future pedestrian crossing that will be going in. So that'll be our main focus from February till June, is constructing those 4 ramps. Pedestrian traffic, like we said, is, you could see that the reason why the trail needs to be closed is because we're constructing right on top of it. But pedestrian bicycle access across 19th will be open 100% of the time during construction. So it'll, like I mentioned before, it'll fully function the way it is right now during this phase. Phase 2 will start in roughly end of June, early July of 2016, where this will be really where you'll start to see changes in the landscape, because this is when we will actually start the bridge construction. And we'll also have a detour route for 19th Street that I'm going to show you here in a second. And then also in the summer, we're going to construct the roundabout at Elm Street. We want to do that in the summer while school is out for the summer session. So again, the traffic movement is in blue and the construction area is in red. So in the previous phase, I mentioned we built the ramps first. So we did that. So now we're going to split 6th Avenue, and northbound 6th Avenue is going to travel on this ramp to a temporary signalized interchange, and then go around, and southbound will come on this ramp to another signalized intersection and to the south. So we're essentially taking 6th Avenue outside of the work area for the bridge construction, so it will keep traffic flowing. Again, 19th Street, the only difference you'll see is we're actually going to construct a detour, in-place detour to shoe fly around where the bridge is going to be located. And what that does is that allows us to construct the full bridge width in one phase of work to help accelerate the schedule. So again, pedestrian movements on this, the trail will still remain closed, but 19th Street will also have a pedestrian and bicycle access maintained as well, but it'll only be on the north side, and it'll be separated from traffic with barrier and separated from the construction area with fencing and other protective means. So again, traffic is staying open, bicycles, pedestrian movements are all maintained. So the actual construction going on in this phase is the bridge construction. And the bridge is being built kind of to the north of where 19th Street is right now. You'll also see us working on the south side over here, doing some of the excavation in the soil nail walls for 6th Avenue to eventually go underneath the bridge. And then, as I mentioned, the roundabout will be constructed in the summer of this year as well. So phase 3 of the project is when the bridge is complete and we're ready to now finish the excavation underneath the bridge to fully tie in US 6. And that will last from roughly September. The bridge should be complete by November of this year, and at that point we're going to switch 19th Street on top of the new bridge that was previously built, and then US 6 will still stay in the same area that it was in last time, but now we can remove the dirt where the detour was located for 19th Street and fully complete the paving and the guardrail and all the signing on 6th Avenue to fully open up the interchange. So that will last roughly until the spring of 2017. Once 6th Avenue is fully paved and ready to open, we'll be we'll enter phase 4, which will take us from the spring of 17 and through the summer. So at that point, we'll put 6th Avenue back on its permanent alignment, going underneath the bridge at that time, and the ramps will be open for on and off ramps to access 19th Street. 19th Street will be in its final configuration, and the last little bit will be doing some tie-in work on the ramps and making put the free left movement, the final paving here, and then doing all the landscaping work. So that will get us, we should have, we're shooting for substantial completion in August of 2017, meaning traffic's in its final configuration, and full completion by the end of September 2017. So that gives us the time to do all the landscaping and do all the seeding and plantings in the prime planting season. So simple as that, right? Right. Next, Anne's going to talk about communication.
We want to kind of keep everyone as in the loop as humanly possible. I think we have an intent to include at the forefront of the weekly emails that come from the City of Golden the latest and greatest update about this project. So if you are already getting weekly e-newsletters from the city, you'll continue to get that, and this project will be included in those emails. If you are not, you want to get on the email list by signing up in the back here. Dan and Carlin and I are taking the lead on responding, and we are fully committed to getting a quick response to anyone. I think the very best way, if you have a question about this project, is to leave a message at the hotline. Emails are workable, but if you send one to me and I'm out of town or I'm not for some reason in the office, you don't have a backup to that. You have to wait till I get back. But if you leave a message on that 877 or 277-8777 number, you'll hear back from someone within 24 hours. We fully intend to have some alerts for sudden changes or significant events that happen to closures. We use Twitter. If you're not following Linking Lookout on Twitter, you should do that. And if you're not following the City of Golden's Facebook page, you should do that as well. Those are great places to go. We'll keep the Linking Lookout website really updated, but follow us on Twitter, particularly if you want an instant update on something that happens that's unusual. The other thing that we want to do is we want to kind of talk about this project in the context of the kind of the human stories that are taking place. There's some cool things going on here. We have some great people working on this project who have interesting backstories. There's interesting things that are going to take place with this. If you've not been in mining or major retaining wall construction, you probably haven't seen soil nails before. It's actually kind of interesting. So we're going to try and keep people up to, kind of keep some stories out there that have to do with things that are maybe not necessarily about your drive, but might be of interest to you as well. The last thing that I think we want to make sure everyone is aware of is the Linking Lookout site will have a webcam. We are putting a webcam up on one of the old power lines that from the old XL power lines in the northeast corner. You'd think I was not an engineer. The northeast corner. And that is something that will show you not only what construction's going on, but what traffic looks like. So it might be something you want to look at if you're planning a trek along 6th Avenue. And you should know that that's available for you. Not yet, but as we get closer to actually being under construction. Some of this is all work in progress. So, as I said, linkinglookout.com, if you're not already aware of that website, that will have a lot of the information about this. If you're curious more about what the project looks like in total, what the traffic pattern is going to look like after construction, all of that is already posted on that website. The stuff that was in the Informer in the last issues is there as well. It's a great place to go for information, for background, but moving forward, it will be the best place to go for what's really happening kind of that 3-week look ahead for construction. And again, if you run into something that requires a quick response, the hotline 303-277-8777, easier to remember than maybe I wish it was. Please give us a call, and Carla and Dan or I will get back with you in 24 hours.
You can stay up to date on the project. Just remember 2 words: Linking Lookout. Visit linkinglookout.com for the very latest updates. Sign up for our weekly e-newsletter and follow us on Twitter @LinkingLookout. There is also a hotline, 303-277-8777. We will leave recorded messages with updates, but the hotline is also a great place to leave us a message if you have a question or concern. Someone will get back to you within 24 business hours. We are excited to give Golden what it deserves: the best possible roadway and overpass for everyone.